Hey guys, welcome back. It's Missy, and today I thought we would talk about why the narcissist discarded you. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Missy. I'm a life and relationship coach, and on this channel we get to the root of the issue and we learn how to heal and deal. So if that's your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be a part of the fam. And if you already are a subscriber, you know I appreciate you so much. Also, don't forget to check out my course on how to break free from the past and my Patreon. Let's get into today's video. So before we talk about why the narcissist discarded you, we first have to talk about the stages, the cycle of abuse, the stages that the narcissist goes through in a relationship. Because a relationship to a narcissist isn't a healthy dynamic where they are looking for their partner, where they can grow together and love each other. No, it's very much so, I want to take, I want to see what I can take. It's all about me. I need to manipulate, I need to control. I want what I want and I don't care about this other person. So the first stage is the idolizing, and this can happen in the very beginning of the relationship, and it also happens when the narcissist notices you pulling back, or if they notice they were too harsh, or they are looking for some love. They want that positive supply. So what idolizing will look like is a lot of compliments, love bombing, fantasy projecting, telling what the fantasy could look like, what they're willing to do for you. They sell you a story, and they often will praise you and lift you up, and they just seem like the ideal partner during this idolizing stage. They put you on a pedestal, and it looks like they just love you so much. And that is the part that a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse get stuck on, of like, I see it's possible for them to be this way. They're the love of my life. I want them to get there. I just need to be a good partner myself and work with them and help them. You know, maybe I could do things to make them want to be better. Now, the reason why they do the idolizing in the beginning of the relationship, it's because they want to gain your trust, your loyalty, and your affection. So there's always a hidden agenda. Now, this stage, like I said, it happens throughout the relationship. It doesn't just happen in the very beginning, because it's a cycle. Then another thing that happens in the relationship, because it's very much so hot and cold, so this is the hot part. The cold part is the devaluing. Now this is where they criticize you, they gaslight you, they manipulate you, they belittle you, they tear you apart. The things they love about you, they all of a sudden just hate about you. They are looking for arguments. They fight you about everything. It's just a really terrible, dark place when you're in the devalue stage. And what happens throughout the relationship is that it will go in between, like I had said, it will go in between the idolizing and the devaluing. And what triggers the narcissist to do this is when they're looking for that positive supply versus that negative supply. And what triggers them to look for either or, it really varies. Like, maybe they're feeling good about themselves and so they want to be loving towards you, or they see that you're pulling back and they want to be loving towards you, or maybe they're having a bad day, they feel ashamed, maybe you did something that they didn't like and they want to control you, so then they'll start to devalue you. Like, there's different triggers to get them to either want positive or negative supply. It's very much so what it feels like to deal with a child, because children very much so are emotionally driven, and that's the same thing with narcissists. Is they're very emotionally driven, and they only do what their feelings tell them to do in the moment. They don't think about the consequences or how it affects others. That's where that lack of empathy comes into play. So like I mentioned, this goes on until finally there's the end of the relationship, which that is the discard phase. This is when they reject you. This is when they get bored, or they feel like you are no longer useful to them. This may be the final stage where you never hear from them again, or they hoover over you, meaning they will kind of put you on a back burner, and maybe they'll date other people, but like they'll reach out every once in a while, every couple weeks, every couple months, even maybe every couple years. They may see you as potential good supply for the future, but right now they see, oh, they're not doing anything for me, so they've been good supply in the past, but I want to move on to different supply because they're not working for me anymore. Now that we went through this, the cycle of abuse, why did they discard you? Let's go further into that. The first thing is you wouldn't play their games, or you didn't reach their expectations. And this is a good thing. Narcissists are little kids that get bored. They often will push buttons, test boundaries, manipulate, see if they can get you to do what they want you to do. And when you don't give into these games, they just get bored and they're like, okay, I can't get them to do what I want, so I'm gonna go move on to my next victim. They make very impulsive decisions, and this is from their lack of ability to emotionally regulate. So they then will end it like, okay, they're not doing anything for me. Like, you could be such a great partner, you could be caring, you could be loving, you could be trying to sit down and have conversations with them. It doesn't matter. They are only looking for one thing from you. They have one objective, and that's to manipulate and control. And if you're not playing those games, if you're not doing that push and pull, then they want nothing to do with you. And that's a positive thing. They wanted a new shiny toy. So they maybe had done a lot of the fantasizing with you, and they already went through all of those cycles, and they're like, you know what, I see someone at my office, or I see someone on the street, and they're someone that maybe this person, they want to be more like this person, or they see this person has certain qualities that they're looking for, that they really want, and so then their attention will be turned onto that person. They have a wandering eye, and they are always looking for the next best thing. They're always looking for a way to level up, and so they're looking for someone that can fill their void and their hole that they have inside them, or someone that can potentially help reach their next goals. They use people as stepping stones. People are tools to them. So if they see a shiny new toy as someone that could help them reach the goal that they're looking for, and you're not doing that, then they will also push you to the side and discard you. The next thing is, you didn't fill their ego. So you didn't praise them enough or anymore. You didn't look up to them. You didn't fill that hole, like I had mentioned, that is inside of them, which, newsflash, no one can actually do that. A narcissist is very needy from their lack of sense of self, and because they are just a person filled with shame, they need constant outside validation. Like, they cannot validate themselves, because remember, narcissists are children stuck at the age they're abused at. That's where their brain is. And so because they're always stuck in this deep shame, if you don't overly praise them or make them feel good and joyful and give all these positive, happy, fantasy feelings, then there's a big possibility that they just will discard you, and they discarded you. The next thing is, you showed no reaction to when they were going through that devaluing stage, or you showed no reaction to when they were starting to distance themselves from you. Narcissists want control, and if they cannot control you, then they want nothing to do with you. If you don't give them that reaction, if you don't have anger or show that negativity that they're seeking, because they are in such a low vibration, such a low place themselves, they want other people to be low with them. If you don't give that to them, then again, it goes back to them being bored, and maybe they'll feel ashamed, or they'll feel bad about themselves, and then they don't want you in their life anymore. They want someone they can get a reaction out of, and they can stay in that victim place where it's like, I'm a victim, my partner is being crazy, they're being mad at me, they're starting problems for me, and I am a victim in this situation. So if they can't victimize themselves, if they can't make you appear crazy, if you're stoned, if you've gotten smart and you see their ways and you don't show that reaction, then they can't manipulate and control you, so then they want to get rid of you. And the last thing is, you got smart and you figured them out. You maybe did some research online about narcissists, or maybe you started psychoanalyzing them, or you just figured out what they are doing, and you maybe started criticizing them, or you told them what you found out. And then when you figure them out, they have deep shame, like I had mentioned, and they don't do well with criticism. So if you start to mention some of the negative things that they're doing, they don't have a conscious understanding that they're doing it. It's a very subconscious, unconscious thing of all the things that they're doing. And so when you start calling them out, they feel ashamed, and they don't want that shame to come out. Their whole goal is to cover up that shame. And so because they cannot emotionally regulate, it's because they cannot self-reflect, because they don't know how to deal with all this shame, because they don't even know or understand that this is a feeling of shame. They think it's just, you're a jerk and you are not identifying them as the person they want to be identified as, they're going to discard you and get rid of you and be like, you're the problem, you're making me seem like someone I'm not, and then they don't want anything to do with you. They then will go on to the smearing your name campaign, and they'll make it appear like you're the crazy one, so that way other people can't catch on to what you've caught on to. Because once other people catch on, then they know, oh, I can't play those games anymore with other people, or oh, my name is tarnished, I can't have that positive view that the outside world sees me as, and I feel threatened and I can't let that happen. So then that's when they will start to do that smear campaign, and they will completely discard you and make it appear like you were a bad person. Another thing is, narcissists have a superiority complex, so they will look down on other people and they judge them. So if you ever show vulnerability, or maybe they see you as someone that they can manipulate too easily, which I know that sounds terrible, but if they see someone as too weak in their mind, they then will discard them and be like, okay, this is too easy of a target. As sick as that sounds, but I saw an article from a psychologist that had talked about that, and I was like, oh, that sounds very sick and very brutal. They also have that lack of empathy and the lack of accountability. So if you try to hold them accountable, then they will completely be like, okay, I want to get rid of this person. They're trying to tell me I'm doing things that I don't believe I'm doing, even though they most likely are. And so then they will just turn it around and be like, okay, I can't do this, you are not a good person. So those are some reasons why the narcissist will discard you. In the future, I'm going to do a video of how to handle the discard, because that can be really hard. This is part of healing from the discard stage, is definitely educating yourself and understanding why it happened, but it can be really hard to deal with it because you're still stuck in that, you know, the fantasy, the stage they left you at when they used to idolize you. You feel like I can go back to that. They're my person, like I want that person again. But unfortunately, it was all just a fantasy and a positive projection that they had sold you, and they most likely took things that you had said to them and used it to their advantage and just mirrored you. So it can be really hard. So in the future, I'm going to talk about how to deal with this discard stage and how to get yourself out of this deep emotional pain. It's gonna be really rough. So what do you guys think? Leave it all in the comments below, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with someone that you think may need it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Oh, what is my topic today? What am I even talking about today? What's my topic? Hot topic, something to say.